You'll only really understand and relate to this if you're an author, a poet, a storyteller, a lyricist, songwriter, screenplay writer, anything like that. And not just any. You're channeling spiritual transmissions. So you're a conscious creator using language and words to spark people's souls and speak to them on a deeper level. And there's a higher purpose to it. You're tapping into something beyond your ego mind and that separate self identity. And I know because I do this too. And there are a lot of us conscious creators creating these mythopoetic activations to upgrade the mythopoetic structure or architecture of humanity. This is important work because everything is a story. Beliefs are stories. Identity is stories. Society is a compilation of stories. That's why beliefs and mythology, and I said beliefs, but I meant to say religion. Religion is all stories, parables, poetry, mythology, same thing. These are like the core operating systems for humanity, and especially when it comes to encoding and decoding wisdom. So it's so important, and there's a reason why there's a lot of us that are channeling these messages in conscious ways and for the purpose of activating people on a spiritual level, expanding consciousness. But there's some things that come up when you do this, and that's what I want to speak to. So the inner game, in terms of the inner game, here's what really comes up. It's forms of self-sabotage and self-doubt that come up. Again, I know because I've gone through this too, and it manifests in different ways for different people. What could come up is you doubt your ability or what's coming through. Like, I should be writing some more practical stuff, but these crazy ideas keep coming to me. Should I pursue that? Is anyone going to get these crazy ideas? And what's funny is when I put out those crazy ideas and the things that just seem like whimsical and they're just coming to me in this flow of inspiration, those tend to do better than the things I try to overanalyze. Or like when I try to grow my business or brand as a copywriter, I feel like I'm always coming up against a wall when I try to be practical. But when I really just tune in and let that inspiration flow, even when it's weird, it resonates more with people. So I feel like we all experience that self-doubt that comes up. So that's part of it, the self-doubt and the self-sabotage. It comes up in the creative process. Sometimes it comes up in the application or practice part of it. Like you might procrastinate on your creations. You might not stick to it on a daily basis. You might not follow through with a book idea or a movie idea or a song idea, whatever it is you're creating. You might not follow through with it. So the self-doubt and the self-sabotage can also come up during the process. And then, like I said, there's the follow-through, putting it out, publishing a book, putting out music, whatever it is, reaching out to people to get something produced. That's when self-sabotage and self-doubt comes up too. Like you made something, and then instead of putting it out or reaching out to the right people, the doubt comes up. Like, will anyone appreciate this? Will anyone even get it? Will people think I'm crazy? So it comes up there. And then it also comes up during that follow through or putting it out there process. Like, oh, I put it out. Do people like it? Oh, why isn't anyone paying attention? Do they secretly hate it? Or is it just being ignored? Or do people not like it? It comes out there as well, and that demagnetizes it. If you put things out with full faith, full confidence, it's actually more magnetic. But when you doubt it, you dilute the signal because you're not standing confidently with that calm nervous system and emanating that sure thing frequency. And that's what magnetizes people. Like, whoa, he or she knows what they're doing, and I'm going to pay attention because they're so passionate about it. They feel so strongly. They feel like they're channeling some kind of really important message. And if you're watching this, if you're one of those people like me, you are. But you need to reconcile that self-doubt, that self-sabotage, and get real. Like, you are being called to create something important. What you're creating is important. It activates people. It speaks to their souls. Stand behind that. Don't let the doubts and the self-sabotage overwhelm that sense of purpose, because ultimately why you're creating that. And that brings us to the next part of this, which is how you overcome that or reconcile it, because you need to face it and reconcile that doubt, sabotage, whatever form it takes, into a greater whole. And how you do that is, well, first seeing through it, seeing it for what it is, but then integrating it into that higher purpose, really stepping into and feeling strongly that higher purpose. Like, I am here for a reason. I'm feeling the call to create this for a reason. And letting that be the guiding force. So instead of slipping into those doubts, oh, what if that happens? Oh, what do they think? You're like, no, I'm not going to entertain that. I'll let those thoughts and emotions go, because there's a higher purpose. This is bigger than me. I'm being called to bring this to fruition in the world, and I know it's going to help people and activate people in ways I might not even understand right now. And that's what I'm trusting. That's what I'm basing my decisions on. That's what's giving me faith and confidence and the ability to keep going, no matter what happens, because it's not about the results, especially when it comes to money or fame or things like that. Let go of that. It's not about that. And if you're desperate for that stuff, guess what? People sense that and they run away from you because they feel like you're attached to money or fame. So let go of that and focus on the higher purpose, why you're being called to do it, the impact your work really has. Because again, when you're creating things that are spiritual transmissions, they are so impactful. They change lives. They upgrade the belief structure, the mythopoetic architecture of humanity. They really do. Okay, that's like the inner game. And then we'll go to the outer game, because there's also the putting yourself out there, putting your work out there. And when you're creating this kind of stuff, and you're the kind of person who is deeply in tune with yourself, your soul, a higher power, you're in tune with your creative inspiration. When you're like that, let's say like typical marketing and sales tactics and things like that just don't feel right. You're not going to be able to copy paste some 5-step sales system or 5-step marketing system or 5-step persuasion system. It's just going to feel off. It's not going to feel right to you. So I feel like a big aspect of this for people creating this kind of work is letting go of what all of the experts and the gurus, especially when it comes to business and marketing, are preaching or saying you have to do. Yes, there are some foundational principles and things like that, but they're honestly very basic. But beyond that, you don't have to copy paste any social media tactics or marketing system or things like that. You need to bring through that guidance and that creative inspiration even into the social media posts, into the marketing, into the creating partnerships with people. There are different ways to do that, but you need to trust your inner guidance when it comes to that stuff too. So it's not about following the little tactics that already exist. It's about, okay, you can understand the basic principles, but then you create your own way, guided intuitively. And what amplifies this is getting together with like-minded people, with similar people. Everyone is looking at each other's work, sharing each other's work, and doing their own experiments that they feel guided to. Doing micro experiments. It could be little things, doing big experiments, and having fun with it. Like, hey, I'm going to try this. I'm going to try reaching out to these people. I'm going to try doing this with my work. I'm going to try doing these kind of weird posts and see what happens. And when we do that kind of stuff intuitively and explore based on creative inspiration, and then we share that, guess what happens? Everyone evolves quickly because it becomes like that mastermind effect, that collective consciousness effect. Okay? And that's where the synergy happens. That's where things amplify. That's when the momentum starts to really pick up for everyone because we're sharing, we're integrating, we're inspiring each other. It becomes that feedback loop. And it's based on, with these kind of people like you and I, it's based on a higher purpose. We are activating humanity's consciousness. We are catalyzing spiritual awakening, catalyzing self-realization, upgrading the mythopoetic architecture for humanity. So that's a higher purpose. It's not based on making a lot of money, although that could be a byproduct. It's not about getting a lot of followers, although that could be a byproduct. It's about that higher purpose. So if you feel like there's a higher purpose that you're tapping into, there's a higher purpose to the work that you're doing and why you're doing it and how your work helps people. If you feel that way, I am creating a living network. And it's called the Soulful Writing Collective. And we do just exactly what I described. We look at each other's work, share perspectives, break down other cool works that we admire and resonate with. We share our experiments and what's working, not working. We create that synergistic effect. And again, it's all based in that higher purpose because that's why we're here, okay? You're here to create, and you're here to create things that inspire people. You're here to create things that expand consciousness. You're here to create things that catalyze self-realization. And same with me. And I'm creating a space for us all to amplify that impact. So if this resonates with you, I will put the link to the community wherever I can, and hopefully I'll see you there. Much, much love and gratitude.